welcome back to Urban Cowboy Disc Golf. I am driving to the SPC Open 11, and I have played this tournament for every single year that I've played disc golf, except for the very first year where I didn't know they did these for tournaments. So, since 2021, I think, where I want to say third or fourth in M83. So I've won this a couple of years back, and gotten fourth, I think. So I went like fourth, I think third, first, fourth, and maybe I did. I think I did really poorly last year. I was like 10th because some unlucky rollaways. But other than that, I'm extremely excited. I've got about 30 minutes till the tee time starts. It's a shotgun, so God knows where I'm starting, but I am playing with a buddy of mine, so he's going to be on the card, and hopefully we can either both bring our scores up or at least mutually destruct and have a good time of it. But it's a really fun round. It's going to be cold in the morning, but it's going to be mild in the afternoon, so the second round will be a lot cooler, or a lot warmer. Sorry, not cooler. If you get colder than it is right now, you wouldn't be able to drink a Gatorade. You'd be frozen before you drink it. But looking forward to this. I'm going to try to record all my shots. Bye. Okay, so this should be pretty simple. I am on hole 12B as my first hole. It's a shotgun start, and it's this kind of tight tunnel for the first 50 feet, and then it goes up a hill to the left just a little bit on this slope, which is a really tight, a really bad rollaway area. So I threw it on a little ante just to lay it up there. Tap out for a first hole is a nice simple par. Don't want to bogey this from a rollaway. My second hole, hole 13, is my big forehand play. Spike it into the ground near the basket, and I just didn't leave it left enough, or I didn't throw that disc flat enough. So I just kind of chickened out, and I'm about circle's edge. I got this tree on my right. It's just enough to where I kind of want to straddle, but I don't. And this is the first long putt of the day. It's pretty simple. I do want to say there was next to no wind for this whole first round. I'm just going to tab this out for my par. So this is basically the same play, but instead of throwing it up a hill, I can throw it a little flatter and kind of let it crash into kind of what is a bowl. But you end up going more right if you don't actually hang it out over the OB. Everything to the left of this walking path was OB. So I've got another circle's edge putt, and I just left that last one short. So what I'm going to try to do here is correct for that, but I don't know how much I actually correct for it. See, I'm still very low. That went in. Hey, look, I get to put a 2 down for the first one of the day, first birdie. So 1 under going into this hole, which is goofy enough. Another forehand hole for me. I grabbed the copperhead, and I threw the copperhead twice on this hole, because this is the first round. Second round, I'll throw the copperhead again. But I feel like I could have gone a little faster. I get it up, and I just barely, and I'm telling you, just barely make that OB line, which is the curb. But I come up short still. Somebody's already right by the basket for the CTP. And another circle's edge putt, or just outside the circle. I'll say this is definitely circle 2. And OB, if I get in that person's backyard over there, that's OB. At least I hit the top of the band, didn't go too far, tap out par. Onto the third or fourth forehand hole in a row, which a lot of these are forehand holes. This is Springwood Players Course. Fairly simple forehand. It's only 200 something feet or a little under, and just get it up there, put it next to the basket, and then I left it a little short. I babied it a little bit. First really made putt, and of course I think that one was high. So we're going on those. I'm 2 birdies out of the last 4. or out of the last 5, and then I just kind of hit the play button really quickly on this hole. It's basically the same as last hole, a little bit longer. I throw my spur on a spike hyzer line, and I always end up in the like corner woods. Buddy here just sits in front of the camera, but I already didn't have it in frame. I needed to push it a little bit to the left, but I actually cash this one in. Here we go. Just you can hear the chains. So I was happy with that. Another kind of like floater that just barely caught. This was the hole that is one of the add-on holes. It's hole 17A or 17B. And really smart design. Everything short in the covert is OB. Everything left and a little bit long is OB, but not, right hand is safe. So I threw a safe understable disc and made it simple. So I've got this up the hill kind of just try to toss it in like I did the last couple of long putts, but I just ended up throwing it really short. Roll it out, simple tap in. Going into hole 18, 2 down. Or, I think 3. No, 2 down. Hole 18, 300 feet up this hill and to the left. It's kind of hard to get a good line on it, but you want to kind of ride the tree line and then fall into a creek. So I rode the tree line, I just didn't fade out enough. But my putting was on at that point, so I was very happy with it. It wasn't a bad shot. We get into hole 1. Hole 1, all the road to the left of these crepe myrtles is OB, so I'm just throwing a forehand to kind of skirt those trees, but I threw it on so much hyzer it skips into the right woods, luckily giving me just enough to get out. But this is the goofy part. I had to stretch so far with a step out backhand and Annie just to get myself the easy par, but had a good time either way. Just me being old, I barely can flip, and like my legs were like dead after that.
Last minute switch there.
Hole 2, technically the original hole 2 on this course, because that last one was hole 1. It's 210 feet in the woods, but we have a double mando up there about 100 feet off the tee. And I make the mando, but I put it really high.
Maybe come back.
I crash into one of the trees near the circle and roll all the way to the left side. Almost into the open, but still somewhat in the woods. And I wanted to throw a simple backhand, but I was too far to the left, so I had to kind of throw an Annie forehand. You can see here I'm just kind of like lining it up, trying to throw it, but I think it comes out of my hand and I just kind of didn't throw it at all. I just got lucky enough that it even went up there. I tap it out. Well, it's a little bit longer than a tap out. That was an actual like 15 to 20 footer. And if anything hits basket, it rolls away almost immediately.
Very good.
We got Matthew tapping out. I had really good cards both rounds. Super excited. Deciding against the staggered and go for the straddle. Put it in. That's where I wanted all my putts to be landing today. So this is a different type of hole. Hole 3 normally goes from the bottom up to this basket, but instead now we're going from the top, and we're going to try to skip down to the left. And I leave it a little early, but I make it all the way down to the bottom inside C2. And this is just me trying to put an Annie throw on it and leave it short, and it bangs that cage and rolls to edge of circle. Me flipping it off. I'm not happy. And then me trying to tap it out from circle's edge and leave it short again. Luckily this time it does not roll away. Here's one of the more fun holes. This is originally a par 3 at the end of this line of trees, but they decided to bring it out all the way to the beginning of the trees, the end of the pine trees that we were just in, and the T location is all the way across this field at the end of the line of pines. It's about 600 feet, 600 and something feet. And I threw a good forehand, a little too stable, and end up in the tall grass on the right, which isn't OB. And so I was like, hey, look, just throw a forehand, and tap it out. Now, I threw the forehand, and I kind of left it a little short. Wanted to hang it out there a little bit more to the left, but I got myself a 25 footer for the par. I've definitely been here before, so I was like, yeah, just sink the putt like you normally do in practice. Yeah, happy with it, but I'm telling you, everything's coming out low right now, even though it went in. So we've got this one. This one is like 300 feet. It's kind of follows this cart path and these trees on the right. You want to miss the tree directly in front of the tee, and then there's two trees you want to be in between, and that's where the pin is. So I throw a forehand here because that's the more direct line. And I threw too flippy. That thing flipped up and skipped right out of bounds. There's a walking path about 30 to 40 feet behind the pin, and I went way over it. So I missed my upshot. This is just my tap out after trying to run it. Luckily make that for my first bogey of the round. Or second bogey of the round. My other bogey came a birdie ago. So I've gone bogey, birdie, bogey. And this is the one of two temp holes, which is only about 200 and something feet. Short, but it's right there in front of the scoreboard on the right side of the screen. Throw a forehand out there with the copperhead and hopefully land inside the circle. I left it out a little too far left and didn't get back enough. And we just walk up to it. So I've got a 15, 20 footer just to the left. We kind of all surrounded the basket, left, right, and center. And I put that as high as humanly possible on a very thin banded basket. So we're on hole 6. This is a hole I've recently changed my play for. I normally throw a backhand over top of the two small trees on the right, but I said, you know what, it's not working very well. Let me just throw the backhand directly at it with a putter that I've started to practice with. This is my prickly pear, and that thing was beautiful. I was very happy with it. Went dead straight at it. I tapped it out. It was easy. I say. Now this is probably my second most regrettable shot of the round. I grabbed my more stable curl, and I threw a forehand. I have to go around this tree to the left, or the tree that is directly in front of the tee. You have to go to the left of it. It's Mando left, and I hit the tree smack dead center. Almost went OB. Almost missed the Mando, so I've got a good chance at actually saving what I did not deserve. So I'm going to throw my prickly pear, and I don't throw any hyzer on it. Just watch this go way too straight. So actually, no, I just yanked it right. But it's a negative 1-1. So it went too straight and too far. Should have grabbed something more stable, like my copperhead. That would have been a great play for this. So circle's edge putt again, and I'm downhill, so this doesn't help me with my hitting it low problem. So once again, it's the very top of the cage, but unfortunately it's the cage. So hole 8 is the hardest hole of the day for, I want to say, everyone in the entire tournament, MPO included. And I didn't catch the drive because it was a backup of 4 cards, and I didn't catch the upshot that led me to where I am right now. My shadow is right there on the left side of the screen, and you'll see me throw, and then I end up stuck in the tree on the right, further up. And this is, you see my disc in the tree. That was me getting in the woods 2 times on the same hole. It's a par 4. It's like 700 and something feet, and I just could not get 2 good rips out of my hand. So I just pitched out to try to get a bogey or tap in a single bogey. but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. So this is as far as I could get from that horrible position I was in a second ago. And so I've got an outside the circle look at my bogey. Let's try to save that. So I throw it up, and it hits the flipping bottom of the cage again, and it ends up on top of the manhole cover that
That's my
temp
double
basket
bogey.
is sitting on. So I tap out for a double bogey, and it's not been the great round for putting, and that hole just took everybody's lunch money. My entire card played that, I want to say, like 6 or 7 over. 6, 7. Hey, this is a different kind of hole. We don't normally play. I think this is technically hole 10 or 9. It's directly on the other side towards the road behind a tree. I throw a forehand over this tree on directly in front of the tee and kind of let it crash, and this one rolled almost to the woods. Thank goodness I had at least a look at my birdie. But another C2 look. And this one I felt was high enough, but I didn't have enough. It either wasn't right enough or it wasn't strong enough. This one right here is a simple pitch up to that hillside over there, and then the basket's right there in between those two pines on the right side, upper part of the screen, and then I'm over here trying to throw a forehand to crash into the basket. And I just fluff it and do not go as far as I need to be going. I just didn't put any power on it. And then this is my birdie chance at this hole. Should be a lot closer, but... And I'm telling you, everything's been that low. It's that top inch of the cage, and I keep hitting it. That is my 3rd or 4th time hitting it. Watching a couple other people putt out. This is the second to last hole. Been pretty good round so far. Just tap out my par on a short par 4. Hey, this is a hole
down the hill. Oh, you
12. The one
might
right
bump and
before
roll.
12B, so last
really
hole of the
rolling on
round.
the backside of that.
It's straight. My buddy Phil, I can't remember where his went. And Matthew, catching him throwing it. I think he ends up at the top of the hill.
Nose up. Nose up.
What
a putt!
That body English. He's trying to get it to go right, but it's I think it either stayed up at the top or it rolled down. But I've got my Texas Ranger I throw. It's a little flippy. I threw it on the hole across that goes across the road and where it had a lot of OB. So I'm gonna just throw this, try to get it to flex straight as I can, because it's like 300 feet straight forward down this path. So get that nice flex out of it, and then it comes out right at the last second, and as simple as that. So yep, there's just a tap out from way above the pin because it's right at the bottom of a huge hill. I ended up with that CTP, and thankfully I actually ended up winning that CTP for the tournament. Took it away from a buddy of mine that you've seen on the channel, Jacob. I was very happy with that, especially to finish my round off with that birdie, because since my putting wasn't doing great, at least the throw can save me sometimes. And then I struggled this entire time trying to write my name on this thing. And yeah, no. So the entirety of the round, I would say to summarize, my throw was not pretty, but it was working for the most part. Forehand here and there needed to be flatter or harder, but the putting is what really hurt me the most. I just feel like I was babying on my putts because I was worried about my comebackers. So I really need to get more confidence in my putter and go ahead and just sling the disc at it, and understanding that I will make a 20-footer or a 15-footer comebacker. As long as I hit cage or I hit basket or hit something, I'm going to make that. I just am having trouble with my putting being low. I need to try to get it higher and a little bit right, just so it doesn't chain out left, because I've had that problem before. But I think I finished this round at 4 under, and I'm extremely happy with the rating it gave me, because normally the ratings at Springwood Players Course are not great. So it's just what it is some days. So I get the stats here in a second. This is me practicing putting for my next round, but my stats look as good as I could hope. I mean, I want better. At one OB stroke, I was 55%. That's what I was saying, is like that 55% C1X is not great. That's 5 strokes I gave away because I just couldn't get that disc higher than the cage. So, and then of course my driving could have been a little better too. Like 50% of the time I was in circle one, but it should have been more than that. So my throws weren't perfect, but since I was in the back, I was literally putting from circle one 11 times. I should have more birdies. I had 6 birdies. I had a double bogey and and 2 single bogeys that round. Wasn't happy with. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more of this, and keep playing disc golf.